It's time for another episode of The Oil Stream with Dustin Nielson and Tom Gazzola, presented by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen.
12:03 on The Oil Stream. What's going on, everybody? Dusty and Tommy Gazzola with you. The Oil Stream now presented to you by Boston Pizza, where we will be next Saturday nights. Tommy will have his pre and post game from BP's Westgate location.
Sweet.
Should be a lot of fun. Oilers and Kings. Ooh. Got some news there with the Kings, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
What happened? I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Well, it's this very busy day news-wise in National Hockey. Literally, I'm watching this NHLPA now All-Star game press conference that's happening right now. They're literally moving a banner that had the NHL logo and the PA logo out. They revealed the All-Star logo. Now they're putting up a podium. And it's just like so many moving pieces. I'll spare you the details because it was yawn. The PA and the NHL and the IIHF have agreed to go back to the Olympics if you haven't already seen it. And it'll be 2026 in Italy and I think 2030 in France. And then Luc Tardif, who's the president of the IIHF, said it's going to be in Nice, France, south of France. It's supposed to be beautiful there. And
going to be played on NHL ice too?
NHL ice. Basically, the international ice is, I think it's going to be a thing of the past. And
for best on best competitions.
Best on best, like that they're saying that this arena that they're building in is it Torino, I believe it is, or Milan, which they are just starting, and the Italians told Bettman, "Oh, we'll take care of it. They'll get it done." But as an Italian, don't worry about it. We'll take care of it, okay?
Is that what always happens? Is that how it works?
Worried about it. It'll be done at the last second, but. Yeah, it's going to be NHL ice. And then they also hinted at 2034, the intent is to get the Olympics and the NHL's players to that one. And they were joking about cost and all that. And then after they made that announcement, they brought on Austin Matthews, Connor McDavid, Sebastian Aho, and Elias Pettersson, and our buddy Jameson Coyle from NHL Network to do a little hot stove about the Four Nations face-off, Sweden, Finland, Canada, USA.
Is that what they're calling it, the Four Nations face-off?
That's what they're calling it.
Makes sense. Hockey has face-offs.
Yeah, I have the announcement from the league right here.
Next February?
February, what are the dates? 12th to 20th, 2025.
Okay.
No All-Star game next year.
That's just a year away. That's just a year
away. People were asking if they were going to get other countries involved. Obviously, they said other countries wanted to get involved. Is it Marty Walsh now with the PA? He said that they didn't have time to get other countries. I thought that was a BS answer. But yeah, they've limited it to those four countries. Cool. But at the same time, kind of like, it's not a World Cup.
Yeah, I was like this morning when we first saw that news, I was like, I want the full 8.
Yeah.
Like I want a full tournament.
Yeah, let's go.
But now that they've announced the full tournament, I'll deal with the Four Nations face-off.
It'll be neat.
I'll do it. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
We'll get Canada. Well, look, we can say right now it's not all late like from me this morning, but let's be honest. It is Connor McDavid and Canada and whoever they find to play goalie going up against Austin Matthews and a pretty darn good United States team,
very good team,
and an extremely talented Swedish team and a Finnish team that, like in all international competitions, somehow finds their way into the medals.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean that'll be really exciting as well. That'll be a night, and it's only like an 8-day thing,
and it's better than an All-Star game. That's a positive too.
It's way better than the All-Star
exactly.
game.
So instead of, and I blame myself, I went to complaining, saying, it's only the 4 countries. It's better than an All-Star game, All-Star weekend. So I think it's kind of cool. I'll take this Four Nations face-off over an All-Star game, and we could skip an All-Star game. I think maybe 2 All-Star games get skipped because of the Olympics in 26. And then, by the time we roll into 2027, Edmonton's going to be in the bidding for an NHL All-Star game, in the next 5 or 6 years here. So people are wondering, what about Edmonton? They're probably going to...
They've been saying that forever, right?
The rink will be 15 years old by that time. It'll probably be a new scoreboard. Maybe phase 2 of not Arena District, but Ice District will be built because I've been told that that's the next plan north of 105th Ave. So, yeah, there's some runway there. I'll take the Four Nations face-off over an All-Star weekend for sure. And then by the time we get to the next All-Star weekend. People be like, I missed the All-Star game. What kind of stupid events are they going to come up with for the skills competition?
I think the skills competition will be good tonight.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Last night, did you watch last night?
I did not. I actually did. I did a bit, and then I watched it, and I'm like, this is clunky.
Yeah, it's not made for TV. It did not go over
bad.
well. It did not go over well.
And then I watched some of the PWH.
That was the highlight of the night.
It was.
Yeah.
And good to see the girls get a packed house. That was awesome. Good.
All right, you can hit us up at 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, or in the nasty chat.
I should also add, too, thank you. Yeah, get in on the conversation, your thoughts on all of this. We want to hit on that. The Olympics and Russia came up, and this is obviously very timely. Belarus as well. Luke Tardif said that they are going to vote in the next week or two. They do it 1 year at a time, whether they, allow Russia, Belarus to come back in or not. Unlikely is my guess, but they take it 1 year at a time, depending on, as they call it, security and geopolitics. Obviously, the crap that's going on right now, that needs to end before Russia even gets a sniff back at international hockey as Russia.
All right, nasty chat's hopping. 780-218-9999 is good. The oil stream is brought to you by Boston Pizza. The count day is on for heart-shaped pizza day. Our kids love heart-shaped pizza day.
Fantastic.
On Valentine's Day. $1 from every single pizza sold supports a charity in our community. So make plans for heart-shaped pizza day and make plans to join us for the Oilers and Kings February 10th, Saturday night. Westgate Boston Pizza. That's just the one across from West Edmonton Mall. And then Tommy will have pre and post from the Boston Pizza.
Yes.
I want to stay on this international stuff for a second. First of all, from a 97 perspective, how great is it going to be see Connor McDavid in a legitimate Team Canada jersey in a full-blown best-on-best? The fact that he's been in the league for almost a decade and we have not got to see that yet is sad, but at least we finally do, and he'll be smack dab in the middle of his prime.
97 and 87 is what I'm super pumped to see.
Yeah, I know somebody earlier said, as long as somebody's like, Crosby's not going to be on that Olympic team.
Why not?
I think Sidney Crosby will still be grinding out. Why? It's not just 2 years from now. Look at Crosby this year. He looks amazing.
Does he have 50 points?
Yeah, he's having a great year. So, yeah, Sidney Crosby will be on the Olympic team in 2026. He'll certainly be on this best-on-best team for the Four Nations face-off. Yeah. And it's going to be cool to see Connor McDavid and Sidney Crosby together.
That's something that long overdue. I'm really excited to see. It's going to be really, really cool. 99 at the 98 Olympics as the godfather of Team Canada. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's going to be Sid in 26, I think. And again, like, hopefully he continues to play the way, like, the level he's at right now. Fantastic. That play he made, was it to Gensel, the spinorama backhand no look the other day? That was so nice. So yeah, I think it's going to be cool. I mean, we've been, as fans of the game, we've been robbed of this for years because the IIHF and the NHL, NHLPA couldn't come to an agreement, couldn't figure it out money-wise and insurance-wise and all that stuff. And like Bettman today, he was not taking shots, but he was making jokes about it in the press conference. And it's like, who's paying for this? Who's paying for that? Yes, you rich jerks figured it out. That's nice. Good. Let's go. Nice. Finally.
How many Edmonton Oilers are on the 2025 Canadian team?
Maybe Hyman joins McDavid. Maybe Stuart Skinner.
I would think Stuart Skinner's got a pretty good chance to be one of the goalies on this team.
Well, Huss said it on the Lock Shop. Like, Carter Hart out, obviously. Aiden Hill would probably be in the mix, I would think. And then who else am I looking at? Marc-Andre Fleury, probably not.
No,
obviously.
Not at that point.
Bennington, probably not. Am I forgetting anyone, like a young up-and-comer?
I'm looking at a few different projections. One came out just like an hour ago from Bleacher Report. This one from the Score back in December has Connor McDavid on the team and Stuart Skinner as one of the 3 goalies. The Bleacher Report one was interesting, and it kind of had broken down the lines. Let me bring this one back up. This was posted just an hour ago over on Bleacher Report. First line for the Olympic team, Stamkos, McDavid, and Zach Hyman.
Hey, Chris Kunitz was a pretty good player in 2014, and he was Crosby's guy.
Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon, and Mitch Marner.
That's a good line.
Connor Bedard with Sam Reinhart and Brad Marchand.
Will Brad Marchand be there?
Braden Point, Matt Barzal, and Mark Stone.
I like Mark Stone.
And on the blue line, Morgan Riley, Cale Makar, Josh Morrissey, Noah Dobson, Dougie Hamilton, and Evan Bouchard. I'm not sure how that works. They're both right shot guys.
I don't think either of those guys make the team.
Yeah, you don't think Bouchard gets a crack on this team?
No. Actually,
I mean,
I don't want to say
he's
no.
going to be one of the top 5-point producing
No,
defensemen in the league.
That was bad how I automatically said no. I don't like his chances. I think he gets consideration.
Think he would get consideration. Vera Montenegro's in and says 4, Bouch, Skinny, Connor, and Hyman.
Dare I say it? Where's Darnell?
Yeah, Darnell Nurse not coming up on these lists. Can you not go to NHL.com and sort by nation from stat? I just want to kind of look at the leading scores from a. I thought you could use. I know you used to be able to do that.
Yeah, you used to.
Can you not? Yeah, like how do I want to sort like just the Canadian? Oh, here maybe it's under more filters now. Place of origin. Here we go.
Yeah.
Let's bring up Canada. Let's bring up Team Canada. Or Canadians right now in the National Hockey League. So McKinnon, McDavid, Reinhart, Makar, Braden Point, Mitch Marner, Robert Thomas, who was drafted by McDavid and Draisaitl last night. Noah Dobson, 52 points. Matt Barzal, Sidney Crosby, Verhaeghe, Stone. Man, Verhaeghe's having a nice year.
Yeah.
Hyman, Brad Marchand, Stamkos, Horvat, Matt Duchene, Nuge, these guys. But Evan Bouchard is right there, the only Canadian defenseman that has, or 2 of them, Makar and Dobson have more points right now. I don't know. I think he would be in the conversation.
Yeah.
I feel like he might miss out because of the type of defenseman that he is.
Good point.
Right? I don't know if that's, I don't want to be unfair here, but
you're not.
I feel like that's probably the reasonable take on it. The problem is that Canada's going to have a bit of an issue. Well, we always say it'd be a bit of an issue like between the pipes. However, I mean, looking at whatever the blue line is in front of them or the team in front of them, can they be good enough to just not let them down at that time?
Maybe.
Right now, leading all Canadian goalies in wins, Stuart Skinner,
yeah,
910 save percentage. Connor Ingram having that nice little stretch right there. He's a 916. Bennington, Logan Thompson, Talbot, Tristan Jarry. We are not strong between the pipes here as a Canadian nation. So I would think come next year, Stuart Skinner's on that team.
If he keeps
I would think
up,
Stuart Skinner's on that team. Unless he falls apart in the playoffs again and doesn't have a good start to next year. But I think Stuart Skinner probably makes Team Canada.
Yep.
Which is interesting. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, no Darnell Nurse in the conversation.
VR Montenegro adds, I think Nurse gets no love because there are better defensive defensemen to choose from. Yeah. But like that, the one you had from the Score there, the projection.
Yeah, that was from December.
It had 2 right shots.
It did have like
one of those guys hasn't even played a game this season.
Well, that was Bleacher Report.
Oh, sorry.
That was a Bleacher Report one,
yeah.
and that one just came out. And yeah, so that surprised me a little bit. Just some replies on Twitter. McDavid, Bouchard, I think, are locks. Hyman is likely. Skinner, possibly. Nuge is iffy. I think based on positions, I think Skinner would be more of a lock than Bouchard.
Yes.
To be on Team Canada. Still, though, it's great that we get to have these conversations. I miss talking about best on best hockey. And we're going to get to do it in 2025, and we're going to get to do it in 2026, which is very exciting. And then you probably mix in another 4 nations in 2028 and then go Olympics in 2030.
Like in terms of World Cup?
Well, yeah, the 4 nations.
They want to get to 8 by the next World Cup.
By the next 4 nations / World Cup.
Well, no, I think they go back to World Cup format. I thought that they didn't have
And
time.
that would be 2028.
Comment was stupid.
Which comment was stupid?
Yeah, we didn't have time to include more teams or more countries that wanted in. I think that was I don't know, it was a throwaway comment. I just was like, what?
Guys, Nurse and Bouchard have a chance to be considered for the Canadian team, but also that lineup basically having nothing but offensive defensemen is the wrong approach to go. That's what they'll try to do. They'll try to build a blue line with like a defensive guy and an offensive guy and try to build a team there.
Like Pietrangelo, probably too old at that point, right? We didn't bring up.
No, I don't know. I mean, it's next year.
Did they have
neither of those groups had Pietrangelo on there, I think.
I'd have Pietrangelo over Dougie Hamilton. And you want a shutdown guy?
The Cleepers, and it says in 2 years, replacing Stamkos with Bedard on the top line, up next to Connor McDavid.
Maybe. I was wondering where Bedard was on that.
Yeah. Oh, he'll be on that team for sure. He'll be on that team for sure. So that's one of the big stories coming out of today in the National Hockey League. The other one is the trade that the Winnipeg Jets made, giving up a first and a conditional third. If they win the Stanley Cup, they give up a third in 2027. So they give up a first-round pick to get Sean Monahan after Montreal. This is just days after the Vancouver Canucks gave up a pretty decent package to get their hands on Elias Lindholm. Did that come out Wednesday after Oil Stream? We haven't technically. We haven't dove into that yet here.
It happened as players were
on the Wednesday night
to Toronto.
Yeah,
like Lindholm, was he not in the air when he was
apparently,
and it was announced and everything? Yeah. So, wow, good pickups for both teams. Like I think Kuzmenko is going to be good, and I wonder what kind of doghouse he was in Vancouver. I know
a big one.
There were some issues, or there was qualms with his game, and didn't he get healthy a couple of times?
Yeah. He was healthy, scratched.
And what was he had 40 goals?
Scored 39. 39 goals last year, and all of a sudden can't get into that lineup.
Made some brilliant, he can make some absolutely phenomenal plays. He's a finisher. That was a huge signing when Vancouver got him. Edmonton was very much in the mix. I was told that when he did make his visit here, something happened at the hotel that was a bad experience. I don't know, but it was at the start of the Russia.
Oh, Kuzmenko?
Yeah. Anyway, I'll just leave it at that. But that's Calgary gets a haul. Vancouver gets a piece that can help them now. I wonder what else they do, but that is a hefty price, I would think. And then Monahan to Winnipeg. That's already a solid lineup, and he just bolsters it, I think, if he's put in the right place, third line center, whatever. That's great. Keep in mind the Oilers just got Cory Perry. And do you want to ask me what the Oilers thought of those two guys?
Yeah, for sure.
Both were discussed by Brass.
Monahan
and Lindholm.
Yeah.
Price too steep.
Do you think the price was too steep?
That's what I was told.
Yeah. Do you think it was too steep, though?
First and a conditional. Was it conditional?
It's a conditional third if they win the Stanley Cup, and it's not a third till 2027. So it's almost. I mean, if they win the Stanley Cup, nobody's going to care about a third in 2027. So.
Yeah, it was reiterated to me that those were prices that the Oilers were not willing to match.
So do you think the Oilers are willing to move their first round picks at all?
Maybe, yeah.
What would it have to take? Like
I would go for a defense. This is me. I would go for a defenseman. I don't know what.
But like a legitimate defenseman, that's an upgrade on Cody Ceci. Is that the only way you're trading a first? I don't.
Well, then now all of a sudden Ceci becomes expendable, right? Because you have to manage the cap too.
Yeah,
that's a big factor.
Yeah, I mean, if you're upgrading Ceci, I'm talking Ceci and a pick.
Yeah, or do you bump Desharnais or 7? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of scenarios that they're floating around and discussing. They had their meetings last week. Yeah, I don't know.
There just can't be. There can't be. Like, to me, nothing that they require or nothing that they need should or would require a first-round pick anyway.
Yeah.
Right? Like, unless you desperately think that they need to find another top six winger, which I necessarily don't think they do if these are going to be the prices. And then, an upgrade, like if you were to go out and get a significant upgrade on Cody Ceci, then sure, you're moving. But you're not moving a first-round pick for Nick Dowd. You're not moving a first-round pick for some sort of defenseman that may or may not be an upgrade on Desharnais. Like, you're not doing that. That would make 0 sense. 0 sense.
Yeah, the logic has to be there, I think. What's out? Who's available that maybe we don't know is available? Remember Ekholm last year? Like, there were some whispers that maybe Ekholm would be moved, but even he was surprised by the trade. Is there a guy that they could pluck from another team's roster?
Our theory this morning was Connor McDavid moved early on Boon Jenner in the All-Star draft because he wanted to have a chat with him. What do you think about that?
I think that's perfect for a Friday edition. Would
that not be a great theory?
Show. It would be. I mean, hey, that Erik Karlsson chat went real well last year, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, that was the theory last year, too.
And then it led to a phone call.
Yeah.
And everything, and it ceased right there. There was no offer. It didn't go anywhere. I don't know. I like that, though.
I like it like to talk about, look at all this great stuff we have at Edmonton. He's got 2 years left after this year at less than $4 million.
I know.
He comes with like leadership qualities. You could put him on your second line or your third line center.
Yep.
And then if you wanted, you could play McLeod up on the wing where he's looked okay with Draisaitl at times.
Yeah.
Basically, it bumps one of Holloway, Fogle, Perry, McLeod down to your fourth line if you're bringing in Boon Jenner.
Right.
But this is not a rental. Like this is going to be a stiff price.
Yeah.
And he's had nice years the last 2 years from a point production perspective.
I know.
I think that would be a guy that you would move big time pieces for. What would be the most you think they'd be willing to move for a Boon Jenner?
That's one I would look at that first rounder.
Oh yeah, I mean it's going to take at least a first rounder.
Hey.
But it's going to take a first rounder. You're probably going to have to
go. I don't know.
But they have to move money the other way too. So
yeah,
I don't know. I love the fact when he drafted him. The first thing I thought was recruitment trip. I like it.
Yeah,
recruitment
Spency
trip.
5 Centsy in the nasty chat says the Jenner pick did seem early. Like
nobody was taking Boon Jenner where McDavid took Boon Jenner. So I think McDavid's up to his tricks. And I got a lot of time for it, man. I got a lot of time for it. Casino Dealer Jay says, yeah, same with Robert Thomas. And not only that, but Leon Draisaitl referred to him as Robbie Thomas. Like a very informal sort of like, hey, Robbie Thomas.
A chat too.
Come be our buddy now. I mean, that's something that you could look at there too.
And then that Sam Bobrovsky. Hey?
Yeah, Sam Bobrovsky. Hey? Clearly they're not going after Bobrovsky.
He doesn't even know his name.
Yeah.
He combined Reinhart with Bobrovsky.
That's what he was thinking.
Yes.
What say you? What would you give up for Boon Jenner? 780-218-9999. The Liquid Beaver is in and says, I would trade a first and something for Jenner in a heartbeat. Well, I mean, yeah, I get that. Guys, you'd have to move one of Fogle, Kulak, Ceci, plus the 24 first, and then something else as well, just from a financial perspective.
Yeah. I'd be willing to move on from Fogle to get Boon Jenner with that first rounder.
Fogle, first rounder, something else for Boon Jenner.
Yeah.
Then you bring in, and
it's tight.
Yeah,
but
I think that would be.
That's the way it needs to be done. I would do that. This is all hypothetical, by the way, because Carmen K. Gill read something that came from Wednesday's oil stream that someone misconstrued. I threw out the hypothetical about the scouts that go to. If you notice a scout at a bunch of your AHL games, if you work for an AHL team, and you're like, oh, well, they're clearly looking at someone from the team that I cover or the team that I work for. Someone misconstrued that saying. I said the Caps had been watching the Oilers, and it created a kerfuffle. And I was like, what the hell is going on? No, I did not say that. I was using that as a hypothetical example, just to clear the air. I wake up or I'm doing stuff and then I open X and I've got like 50 notifications. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And
what has happened here?
And I'm like, oh, I didn't say that.
Easy for things to get. So yeah, we're just having some fun with the fact that McDavid moved early in the draft on Boon Jenner. From my perspective, Boon Jenner, I think, would be a great fit here. He's got 2 more years. It's an affordable number. Could do a lot of the things that you would need from like a middle six guy.
Yeah.
And financially, it's something that like isn't completely completely
Ridiculous.
impossible to
Right.
do for the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah.
For the Edmonton Oilers to pull off. Casino Dealer Jay says it's not a hypothetical if Boon Jenner is playing with McDavid and Draisaitl
I see what you did there.
tomorrow.
Very funny. Well played.
Dutzy Nielson says that's the problem here is that the 16-game heater, it's hard to want to move much else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything's going so well. This is why it comes back around to the discussion we had yesterday on the morning show with Eric posting out that tweet. It ended up being like 44% of Oilers fans said they'd be completely happy if the Oilers did nothing prior to the deadline.
Interesting.
That's way too high, isn't it?
They've never had a 16-game winning streak before.
Yeah, that's true. But don't they always say I guess there's two ways to look at this. And parts of the Oil Stream brought to you by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen. We're here in the Popeye studio at Edmonton Sports Talk. Oilers deal still available. Nuge will be available starting on February 14th. It's Nurse right now. Ekholm coming up right away. Available only at Popeyes as part of the Oilers deal. Many of you have already got your hands on these collector's cups. Beautiful cups. If they didn't clutter the desk so much, we'd have them on here. But we got those Ben Stelter charity toques and cards right now. That's probably sold out by now.
Yeah, there was only what?
Yeah, it was down to like a dozen. Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's only 250 of them. They almost sold out last night. RVL Apparel, rvlapparel.ca
Yes.
over there as well. And it's actually the guys who run RVL are some of the Popeyes crew as well. But yeah, go Popeyes, pick up that Oilers deal, and get yourself the mug at all Popeye, or get yourself the cup at all Popeyes locations. There's two ways to look at it is what I want to get to. You can look at it from like no movement at the deadline as you didn't get somebody for the team and it shows you don't believe in them because you don't want to push them over the top. Or it's the other way where you're like, well, you just showed the group that you completely believe in them. They don't think they need anything else to win the Stanley Cup.
I think they're
sold out?
It's sold out. Awesome.
The Stelter, that's awesome.
That's
the toques and cards are sold out. Thank you to everybody who got in on that.
I think there's thank you. Outstanding. I think there's a happy medium where you get a veteran defenseman to complement the group that is going on this
and that's it.
Near historic run.
Because you know what? There really isn't anybody in that role right now anyway.
Literally nobody, because Phil Kemp is called up, sent down, called up, sent down, and then people are going, well, why aren't they sending up Broberg? Well, I don't know. They want him to play, I guess. The happy medium is
that's the one
group.
spot where it's like, you're not really changing too much.
There are days they only have 6 defensemen on the roster this season. That's not good. Although, knock on wood, they've stayed healthy.
Got to have that warm body in there.
Yeah.
I would think. If you want to chime in, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Frank Cervalli with this just a few moments ago. Gary Bettman reveals that Cory Perry has a grievance pending but not filed against the Blackhawks because he said Perry feels that they did not have proper grounds to terminate his contract. According to the CBA, player/NHLPA have 60 days to file a grievance, so something to keep tabs on Cory Perry.
Mm-hmm.
This text in says, where will you guys be hosting the Oil Stream in Vegas? We're still working on location. It might just end up being in our room. We are working around. And once again, I'm also not opposed to being like, hey, if you want to pop by the room, here we are. Come on by and say hi. Pre and post.
I think I'm doing it at the rink.
Okay.
I'm going to talk to the Golden Knights today.
Yeah. Okay, that'll be good then.
Yeah, I'll just be at the rink.
Yeah, there we go. So Tommy will be probably up top of the rink, eh?
I think so.
Just like in the press box with your laptop.
Yeah, I think that'll probably be the go-to for that. But earlier, like the Oil Stream on the Monday and the Wednesday, we'll find a location. Hopefully, we can find some. What about like a sports bar around there? There's some great spots.
Well, you just have to do all of our shows at the same place,
mm-hmm.
right? We're not going to be able to get into a sports bar at 6 a.m. to do 5 a.m. to do the Nielson show.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right?
That's a good point.
So we'll just have to have all the shows set up at the same place.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a lot of fun, and you will see us out and about. Pretty busy itinerary, actually. So it should be good, and we're looking forward to doing all the shows down there, teaming up with the airport, old YEG, sending us down there to promote direct flights to and from Edmonton to Vegas, one stop, no stops, straight. So it makes smart to have them in a big bag like that. It's our first full blown, out of town trip with equipment. So fingers crossed that it works well.
It will.
But we think it will.
Yeah.
How about this? Dennis is in. Boon Jenner and Marchenko for Edmonton's first, Broberg and McLeod. If they have Jenner, they don't need McLeod, and he's too soft anyway, proving it every playoffs.
You need to give to
Dennis.
Dennis. I like that.
Look, in the end, nobody is untouchable outside of McDavid and Draisaitl.
And probably Stuart Skinner.
And you have to have Skinner. And you're not moving Bouchard, I don't think. And you're not moving Ekholm. But outside of those top end guys, the Fogels, the McLeod. I know McLeod's been great. It seems like it's really hitting. I get it. I understand that. Would you move McLeod?
Yes.
In a deal for Jenner?
Yep.
Well, that's something that could maybe work.
Yeah.
I didn't even thought about that.
Why not? I would do it.
It's almost like, I know this is not.
You're giving up a few years, okay? You're giving up a few years. McLeod's younger, but you have a known commodity.
Oh, I do like that.
You know what you're getting from him. Captain of a team. Has term left. Not much, but has term left. Plays hard.
And it would be an interesting sell high spot on Ryan McLeod. Right? Like, we see the way McLeod is playing now.
I like that.
Is this kind of like his peak? Like, how much better can McLeod play than he has over the last, 12 games?
Well, can he do this consistently? That's going to be the next, I think, logical question. Is like, this Ryan McLeod that we're watching, healthy, feeling it, is he going to be this Ryan McLeod next year with a full training camp, full health? Will he be this Ryan McLeod for 5 more years, 10 years possibly? And if he is, and the answer is yes, then that's a good situation. Would you trade him right now for a Boon Jenner for another year, and Boon Jenner could walk after another year?
No, 2 more years.
2 more years.
Boon Jenner, you get Boon Jenner for the rest of this season, next season, and the following season.
Yeah, and then I would do it. And then Marchenko seems to always score against the Oilers whenever the Jackets and Oilers play against each other.
Well, I don't know. I don't even know if the Marchenko thing would.
I'm just goal scorer.
Yeah, that's why I don't see that happening.
Like, could you?
Oh man,
could you get at Jarmo Kekalainen when he goes through his Peter Chiarelli house on fire phase?
Kekalainen's been in his Peter Chiarelli house on fire phase for 2 years.
Take advantage. And he has not been let go. Nobody has told him mid-game that he should leave now. Sneak out the back, Jarmo.
He shouldn't even be making these decisions anymore. So if you can go in and take a Boon Jenner off the hands, that's it. Nobody even brought up the McLeod thing yet, but it'd be interesting. McLeod's been playing extremely well, but for about 2.5 years, everybody's like, man, I don't know what McLeod's going to be. Now you take advantage on a sell high spot on McLeod, move a pick as well, have them retain a little bit, and bring Boon Jenner in for the next 2.5 years of a straight-up cup window. I had a lot of time for that. Yeah. That actually kind of makes sense.
I like it. Does it happen? Is it realistic?
See, now Chris is on the other side here. He goes, giving up McLeod for a 30-year-old with only 2 years left is insane. And Justin Balgoni says, I agree, McLeod is playing very well. And that's why it comes down to if you think this the McLeod we're seeing is just Ryan McLeod now. And if you think in a Stanley Cup series he can somehow be a bit of a game changer for you, then maybe you want to hang on to McLeod. But I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I like the idea of it, but I can see where people would be like, but look at McLeod right now.
That's
like,
great. Yeah.
If McLeod is finally popped, as lots of people like to say, then you waited this long for him to hit. He actually kind of became a third line center that you really needed, and you move on from him now. Maybe that is crazy.
I would be just fine. This is all hypothetical, just to reiterate, by the way. If McLeod
we're spitballing here.
We're spitballing ideas. Yeah. He's grown right before our eyes.
RCN is in and says, imagine selling high on McLeod 3 months ago.
Not a chance.
Like, if you would have in like early December even, if somebody would have said, hey, you can use McLeod in a deal to get Boon Jenner, people would have been like, yeah, I think so. So are we has Ryan McLeod just become a legitimate third line center in the last 6 weeks and now you can't move him?
Well,
or
may I interject?
Sure, of course you can.
Because to some, he was a second line left winger only 3 weeks ago.
Yes, that's right.
And they're like, well, with the winger problem solved with Ryan McLeod on the left side, what do we do for third line center? Somebody on this show may have mentioned that the plan is probably to have him play third line center.
Wasn't me.
Brilliant stuff, Dusty Nielson. Nailed
Was
it.
it
Also,
me?
no, it was you.
Oh.
It was you, I think.
Well, I mean, that's just where it's always going to fit. It's
Right,
always going to fit there.
yes.
Evander Kane is going to be your second line winger.
Yes.
That's just how it works.
Yes. Anyway, I say that in jest, but we do forget quickly. All of us do. It's natural. It's instinct. We get giddy with glee.
Why are people talking about porcupines?
Yeah, weird.
Have you ever seen a porcupine live?
Yes, I almost ran one over.
Like in the wild?
No, like walking down the street at my parents' old home. Like right. There was like bushes behind. This
I've never
row
seen
house.
one in nature.
They're not that big,
Really?
and they kind of lumber
Yeah,
along.
they don't look very intimidating as long as they're facing that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I rolled down my window. I looked at it. And he just kept walking.
You rolled down your window and
It
looked
was
at him.
in the middle of the road, right down the street from my parents' old home. Neat. They're really neat animals. Why is my hair, is it porcupine-ish? Is that what it is?
Is that what you think this is about?
I have no idea. Somebody says they saw one
I could see
around
it.
their place. I
It's a little porcupine-ish.
I saw Chantel this week, and then I got my Swedish hair cream.
So that's why it's like,
Back to normal.
yeah, no.
And I said, hey, give me something to work with on top. Don't go too short this week.
looks real nice.
Thank you.
Looks real nice.
Yeah, hit a speed tunnel.
Somebody just texted me and said McLeod and Jenner, same agent. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. That's interesting. All right, keep the messages coming in. Portions of the Oil Stream are brought to you by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen. Oilers Collector's Cups now available only in the Oilers deal. $16.99. Spicy or regular chicken sandwich. You get the nugs, you get the Cajun fries, you get the medium drink, you get the dipping sauce, and you get yourself the Collector's Cup, and it's the Heritage Classic jersey, so it looks absolutely sharp. Man, this is some sad news.
What?
Carl Weathers has passed away
No.
at the age of 76.
Ah, damn.
Apollo Creed, Chubbs Peterson,
BC Lion.
Lando Calrissian. That sucks. That's a tough one. Carl Weathers was an absolute legend.
He played for BC, right? Or am I thinking of someone else?
Not BC Lions card. I'm pretty sure there's a BC Lions card of Carl Weathers.
He wasn't Lando Calrissian. That was someone else.
Yeah. Oh no, he wasn't.
No. Oh, that's sad, man.
Wait, who was Lando Calrissian?
That was a different.
Chubbs Peterson. My buddy just texted me and said Chubbs Peterson.
Yeah. You know, Carl Weathers was also great in Arrested Development. Billy D. Williams is Lando Calrissian.
Oh, that's right, Billy D.
Also
Yeah,
fantastic.
Billy D. Well, I thought he popped up in Star Wars at some point. Maybe I'm wrong.
Man.
I mean, he's Apollo Creed to all of us.
He is Apollo Creed.
He's Apollo Creed. He's Chubbs Peterson.
Yeah. It's all in the
Those
hips,
are two.
baby.
Those two roles are insanely different, but he absolutely nailed both of them.
Yeah.
Absolutely nailed both of them.
That's-
Carl Weathers was in The Mandalorian. Okay.
Mandalorian. yeah,
Okay.
there
I
you
knew he popped up in Star Wars somewhere.
Yes, BC in 71, played until 73, 18 games total. Got a bachelor's degree from San Francisco State University while playing for the Lions in the off seasons. Retired from football in 74, pursued acting, made the right choice.
Damn Gator almost bit my hand off. Damn Gator bit my hand off. Was it damn Gator bit my hand off? Is that just the quote? Was it just damn Gator bit my hand off?
Because it bit his hand off.
Yeah. I think it was just damn Gator. I don't know if you say jumped up and bit my hand. Just damn Gator bit my hand off.
Didn't it pop out of nowhere?
Yeah. It was great.
Yeah.
Chubbs Peterson.
Hey, Chubbs.
Is one of the most.
You know that gator that got your hand?
I got its hand.
Yeah.
Oh, that's legendary. That's sad news.
That's
just
awful.
78 years old. Yeah, rest in peace, Carl
Yes.
Weathers. Damn,
Yeah.
that was a tough one. That one.
Damn it. Today's a very busy
Damn
news
gator popped up. I gotta get the exact quote.
Yeah. Can you play it?
No, because we got the board. We're using
you took
it for the
board.
draft today.
There's like wires. Usually there's wires everywhere in the studio.
Yeah, there's fewer wires right now.
And there's like some like
Yeah.
wrapped up and ready to go. You know what's crazy? I told Trev, I'm like, you're in charge next week of this whole place.
Yeah, that's weird, right?
He looked scared. Although he's been tired the last couple days.
Well, he's in a relationship now.
He is.
Congratulations. You're going to be tired for the rest of your life.
Oh, no. Hey. She's a
Damn
nice-
alligator just popped up. Cut me down in my prime. That's a classic line. I hooked my ball into the rough down by the lake. Damn alligator just popped up. Cut me down in my prime. It's so good.
Ah, great movie.
So good.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Ah,
I remember when Sandler just like shook his hand awkwardly.
yeah.
That was too good.
Remember he ran
That
over.
was too good.
He hit the hand
Yeah.
out of his arm.
Yeah.
And then he ran it over.
Yeah, then ran it over. And does he say like, "Don't worry about it, I got another"? Like he just he wanted Happy Gilmore to train with him so badly. Oh man, that's a tough hit on a Friday there. Rest in peace, Carl Weathers.
Yes.
Was killed as Apollo Creed.
Yes.
Was killed as Chubbs Peterson.
Yes.
But still a legend.
He will
Still a
live
legend.
on in our hearts and our minds.
Passing away at
Oh,
the
man, that
age of
sucks.
78. It's all in the hips. It's all in.
baby.
You're gonna give that. What are you gonna give that? And focus on golf. That's a good one. Where is it here? Yeah, I'm looking at his quotes right now. Don't worry about that. Made of wood, real sturdy. And then that's when it gets. I lost my pen.
Gets run
That's when it gets. Yeah, he got me, but I tore one of that bastard's eyes out though. Look at that. That's a good one. That's one too. Yeah, here it is. Thanks, Manny.
Clutch.
So you're a hockey player, huh? You're gonna give that shit up. You're gonna concentrate on golf. Oh, that's damn. Oh, well, he provided us with some classic laughs along the way.
Such a
Was
good movie.
76 years old. I thought I read 78 first. Passing away at the age of 76. Legendary though. If you got any more Carl Weathers quotes, you can fire it up, guys. He was killed in Predator 2. I never watched Predator.
I haven't seen it
actually.
either.
Yeah, I've never seen Predator. Man, so many good quotes though. Those are just from Chubbs.
Yeah,
he was excellent in the Rocky movies too.
He
was just the perfect guy to play
Creed.
alongside. Yeah,
Flash,
to play alongside Balboa.
panache, the athletic ability. How about the montages? Rocky and him on the beach running.
Stop being a damn fool.
Yeah, the in sequence dance.
The beach scene, running along. Yeah, that's so good.
Nothing screams machoism like two dudes half naked running on a beach together.
He's gonna play,
Listened up.
and by God, he's gonna win. That's another. That's another Chubbs Peterson line. Too many good ones.
Yeah.
Too many good ones. Well, thanks for the heads up on. That one.
That sucks. All right, what are we going to make up more trades that people are going to talk about?
Well, this guy says, I just drove past a porcupine on Tuesday night, 2 blocks from my place on my way home from the boys' hockey practice. Man, we got porcupines all over this?
There's more porcupines than you think. Mine was in my parents' old
There's more
community.
porcupines than you think. What a quote. What a quote. There's
On a
more
hockey
porcupines.
show.
There's more porcupines than you think.
Well, my parents lived in Hollick Canyon,
Okay.
north side. And, yeah, that's not far from Legolindo. Kinda. More porcupine talk.
Oh, Scotty's just in it. Says, I can't believe I've been watching that movie for nearly 30 years, and I'm only now realizing that Chubbs was played by Carl Weathers.
1994 it came, or 95.
What's it, Happy Gilmore?
Happy Gilmore. I saw it in theaters, and my mom was like, I don't know if you should be going to see that. And I was like, it's going to be great. It's a sports movie.
A nice tie into golf here. One Putt Virtual Golf, one of the best and most accurate indoor golf places in the city. For the serious and casual golfers, they got 6 TrackMan bays, makes it the perfect place to play golf and hang out with their friends. They had that Super Bowl promo, but got fully booked up, so that's awesome to see. But you can go watch an Oilers game and crush some EST 6 o'clocker lager that they do have available at One Putt. Check them out for your next event, birthday parties, stag, team building, and much more. They can fit up to 30 golfers and 40 people total. To learn more, check them out, www.oneputt.ca, or follow their Instagram at OnePuttYEG. Could not get the kids convinced to go there for their birthday party so I could golf.
We'll have a birthday party for one of us, whoever's next.
We got 2 birthdays coming up in the Nielson household. The Muzz turns 7 February. Ooh. Marshall turns 9 in early March. And we're doing clip and climb.
Okay.
And then like a Nerf fighting place.
That sounds actually. That's
good. I can't wait to go to the Nerf fighting place. I'm gonna kick some ass.
As you should.
It's gonna be really nice.
Laser tag was awesome back in the day. Remember
laser tag was good. Yep. There's a laser tag place right around the corner from us.
Is there really?
Yeah. I always get us turned around. I don't know technically where we are. I think I'm pointing that way. Just up and then to the right.
Yeah.
We went in there last year, and it was just me, Tammy, and Marshall and the Muzz. It was just the 4 of us. We had the whole place to ourselves.
They put the smoke in.
I don't remember if the smoke was going, but it was fun. We had 4 of us just playing laser tag. It was great.
Laser tag's a lot of fun.
That's a nice little family event.
Yeah, and then the other one, I just think back to like Chuck E. Cheese and ball pits and like Bullwinkles and how bacteria infested all of those areas were back in the day. And we didn't care.
It was different back then, right?
Era. There were no wet naps.
People are fired up about moving McLeod in a trade piece for Boon Jenner.
They like it. It's a noble concept. Does it have any clout? I don't know. Oh, speaking of like talking about stirring it up, I ran into Stoff yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, for lunch. I went for lunch, and he and Mitch.
You went for lunch with Stoff?
I went with Jerry.
Okay. With Montajon after?
After the hangout, yeah.
Okay.
And Montajon and I went for a bite, and Stoff was there.
And what do you have to say?
I'll tell you off camera. It was good. It was good. It was a great conversation. Hey, Tom. Jerry. How are you? And then we had a discussion. It was good. It was actually really good. It was nice to see him. Hawk says Bullwinkles had the best pizza. It did have good pizza. And the tokens, if it was your birthday, I had my birthday at Bullwinkles, you go in the sand pit and you dig for tokens to play arcade games. Super fun.
It's growing up in a big city. I grew up in Cranbrook.
Oh, yeah.
And we had birthday parties. There was like a little party room at McDonald's, and it was like the coolest thing. But all it was like 2 tables in a glass room. There really wasn't anything else going on there.
Slide.
No ball pit, nothing.
Come on.
No, nothing, man.
Come on.
The McDonald's in Cranbrook completely screwed everybody over because it was announced that they were getting a train. And you know, like McDonald's back in the day, they would have like that little kids train.
Yeah.
So they're like, McDonald's is getting a train. McDonald's is getting a train. And they had the area closed down for construction and everything. And you'd go in, you'd be like, that's where the train's going to be.
Yes, sir.
And then they opened it up, and it was just like 8 regular tables in this one little area, and had like these old glass windows with trains on them. And we were like, I was probably the most pissed off I've been in my entire life. I was like 8 years old.
Give me a damn
It was absolutely ridiculous. You go to big cities, you see trains at these McDonald's, and then they say you're going to get one, and then that happens. And it was ridiculous.
That's frustrating. This show has flown by.
It is flying by. McLeod has the speed all teams want on that third line. Jenner is being overrated. I've got the, let's see, Hockey Stan says, I would never normally post these without them posting it first. However, this is ludicrous. This is from AR Hockey Stats. I don't technically know what these numbers mean, but Ryan McLeod's got a 92, 94 on defense, and Boon Jenner's got a 35. So in these numbers, he is absolutely killing them so far this year.
Porcupine conversation continues.
Hell no, no way. Yes, that is ridiculous. No, yes, no, F no, yes, God no.
It's incredible how the mindset has shifted.
Well, it is. I mean, that's what, like, the fan base here has watched and is just Ryan McLeod in the last 6 weeks has finally become a third line center. And in the playoffs, if he gets pushed around, Nobody is allowed to say anything.
Oh, they will say stuff.
No, not anymore.
They will. They
not
will
anymore.
No,
you can't. He's untouchable. He's untouchable now.
Oh, stop it.
Well, I mean, that's kind of how they're viewing it.
I don't think they're getting it.
Tommy, his number is 94. The 94
on
number.
That chart that we don't understand what the numbers actually mean.
Well, there's a lot of different numbers in there.
Okay, but listen, I don't think he's getting moved. But we're just talking hypotheticals. Would you do it? I would consider that.
A lot of people would. A lot of people would not.
I'm kind of pleasantly surprised.
I think this is an interesting. Talking point because a lot has changed in 8 weeks.
Here's another thing. I'm pleasantly surprised, and I want to add this. It's going into the playoffs and a run like this team is on right now. I think there's something to be said for trusting the guys that have gotten the team to this point and are playing the way they are, like a Ryan McLeod. A guy who I was thinking about yesterday was Vinny Desharnais. And it's like, well, why don't you get an upgrade on defense and then bump Desharnais down? Or why don't you look at moving Desharnais? Hypotheticals, obviously, again, to reemphasize. And then it's like part of what makes a team tick when you add high-end talent pieces, you also need to instill and breathe confidence into the guys that you've had and you've brought along and developed. And I was thinking about that a lot yesterday. I'm like, well, like no way you're going to go and get a veteran D-man to fill in and you're not bumping Desharnais down for him. You're getting the veteran D-man probably as insurance of a viable option to fill in. And you want Vinny Desharnais to continue to grow, evolve, build his confidence up. I think that's important. And Brian McLeod kind of falls into that category too.
Same thing, right? You see where it continues to go.
Yeah. And I think that has a lot to do with a potential championship formula, as well as adding those not huge, sexy, big-name pieces towards the deadline, but good, solid adds. Like when Colorado went and got Manson, Cogliano, and was there one other piece that they got 2 seasons ago when they won the Cup? But Manson and Cogliano were two, like, they didn't take away from the rest of the team.
You're just adding to the team. The problem is if you want to add here, it has to be very fringe, or you have to give something up.
And that's a great position to be in.
But and that's why we said right off the top of the oil stream today is that there's nothing out there that the Oilers should part with a first-round pick for because they don't have these desperate needs that Winnipeg and Vancouver had.
And the other thing I would ask as we wind things down is like, because Calgary and Vancouver made that move, and Vancouver and now Winnipeg have added to their rosters with big names, is it almost like monkey see, monkey do, where you just, well, the Oilers have to do something? Are we forgetting they just added Cory Perry?
And they got Dylan Holloway healthy.
And they got Holloway healthy. Or do you look at it and go, okay, I see what you did there. Yep, I see what you did there, Winnipeg. But that doesn't really make the urgency for the Oilers to go make a big splash, quote unquote, as opposed to making the right move, which is, I feel like, more of a complimentary piece. Is that a fair statement?
I know. That's what it has to be. Like,
are Oiler fans content with that? Or do they need... and is it going to be a vocal minority, or is the majority of the fan base going to be like, you know what? This is a pretty good team.
Here's what I would... like from the Edmonton Oilers' perspective right now, it's very difficult to think about what's going to be said at the deadline because we've been broadcasting in this market for 15 years. They've won 16 in a row. They've won 24 of 27. They look like the best team in the National Hockey League. Of course, you don't want to touch it. If you get to the deadline and they drop 3 of 5 before the deadline for some reason, people will be calling for some sort of change here. You know what I mean? Like things can drastically change. in the next 5 weeks, 4 weeks, 4.5 weeks. Things could still change. So it's tough for us to sit here today and be like, what about this guy? What about this guy? What about this guy? What if the third line with McLeod, Perry, and Holloway don't look good over the next 3 weeks? I think they will, but if they don't, then people are going to be like, well, you got to do something. We have to see where this is at in 4 weeks before saying what they need to do or what they shouldn't do. What say you? You can hit us up 780-218-9999 or in the nasty chat as well. Let's see here. A couple of these to wrap up.
Good show today.
Sheldon is in and says, you love McLeod, Dusty, don't you? I remember when you scolded me for criticizing him before he heated up. Sherwood Sheldon in San Antonio.
Ooh, put it on the board.
I remember when you scolded me for criticizing before he heated up. I don't know. That's quite news to me if I'm viewed as a McLeod lover. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Smitty the Welder, I hate Jack Campbell. Although that's a good bit we have going back.
It's a fun little bit.
Yeah.
It's a fun
I
little
laugh
bit.
at it. I thought he was really coming after me before. Now I'm like, Smitty the Welder's pretty funny.
Boys, not going to lie, in April, the April sked scares the hell out of me when it comes to injuries and going into the playoffs. Let's just leave it at that. We don't need to dive into the April sked today.
Positive vibes.
That's a little bit down the road. That'll be post-deadline, so we'll see where things are at. The Oil Stream brought to you by Boston Pizza. The countdown is on to heart-shaped pizzas at Boston Pizza. Make plans to join us February 10th. Oilers and Kings on a Saturday night at the Westgate Boston Pizza, just north of West Edmonton Mall. Tommy Gazzola will have your pre- and post-game show there, and a few of our EST staff will be sitting there watching the game with them.
And the commish, too. She wants.
Oh, is that Quinn going to pop on?
Yeah, she asked
that'll
about that.
be,
She's like, "Are you guys going?" I'm like, "I think the majority of the crew is going to be there."
Well, that'll be nice as the Edmonton Oilers will look to continue to try to roll along here as well.
Against the LA Kings, no longer coached by one Todd Bartholomew McClellan.
That's going to do it for the Oil Stream today. We got the Nielson Show replay coming up here. If you missed the draft today, I'm sure that replay will be on our audio feed on our online station as well. You can listen on TuneIn or at edmontonsportstalk.com. And we'll be back on Monday with day of shows here, and then off to Vegas for next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then back here on Friday. Busy times at EST, but we can't do it without your support, so thank you very much for that. Tell your friends about Edmonton Sports Tech and all the different ways you can consume it. For Tommy Gazzola, I'm Dustin Nielson. Have a great weekend, and take it easy.
Oh, Lekanen. Yeah, that's right.